The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, fellas. Guys, good morning. It is October 22nd, Thursday. Hey, Glenn, good morning. Almost the end of the week. And we're back at it. Randy, Sue, guys, good morning. Hope it's not snowing in Iowa still. David, good morning. Very good morning. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are. Guys, for my newer members, anyone from this week and over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to do education on Saturday morning. Good morning, Mark. I'm going to do education on Saturday morning. Hang on one second, Phil. For the newer members, I am not inviting bot owners that have had the bot for months. I'm only inviting new members. So I will be sending out a link tomorrow directly to those that have joined this week, anyone that may join today or tomorrow, but this week and over the past couple of weeks. Okay. Miami Chuck. Good morning, Chuck. I'm assuming you live in Miami. Good morning, Tony. Guys, we do have South Florida. Oh, Boca. I used to live in Boca off Spanish River Road. You'll be gone this weekend. How often do you, Jerry? I do training fairly regular, but for anybody that may join, that for whatever reason, hey, hubba hubba, that can't um, make education, the session is recorded, and I'll send it to you. So you guys, yeah, I mean, anybody, for instance, order flow education on Friday, tomorrow. I've got members that have to be at work or whatever the case may be. I send out the recording, so it's not an issue if you can't make it. The only benefit to being there is if you have a question, you can ask the question. But for those of you that are here for the week, I do one-on-ones anyways. So for instance, if you get into it next week, let's say, and you have questions, all you have to do is call me or email me and say, hey, I'd like to get together for a one-on-one. And I do those. I don't charge for my time. So I'll meet with you guys if you need. And I can do it via Skype, and we can do a share screen. Or if it's just a conversation, we can do Skype call. I can also send you a link if it's a little more in depth, much like the room link. So it would be just, you and I in the room. Good morning, Todd. And same room as this, but it would just be the two of us. And if you have a headset or a mic and you have questions, you can answer questions. I'll record that and send that to you as well. So in any event, fellas, this morning we obviously have some news. We have continuing and initial jobless claims. So we won't be doing any trading before 8:30. We do have natural gas inventory. Natural gas is over $3. We'll see. Cotty, good morning. I presumptively some of that's priced in, but we'll see what we get with natural gas. Crude is bid this morning. As a point of record here, I do not, and I wouldn't suggest that you do either, have any bots on. We do have, news at 8:30, which will probably give us some reaction. So I have at the moment, I have no robots running. I will turn them on. I'll turn gold on at 8:30 as I normally do. Euro dollar is bid. You can see it here. We had a gap up, it looks like in the buck. Dollar is bid currently. Consequently, the euro and the pound are in shorts already. So barring some big surprise, I think the markets just have a hangover here, fellas. It's been kind of a sloppy week. The bots have performed well. Bots are up some $6,300 for the week, but not a lot of trades. There's not really any two-sided action in our session. We are getting the other side of trades after we close the room, but of course those don't count anywhere. Other than your pocketbook if you're trading. I don't count them in the record. My sense is that these markets are just hanging out. We are trading right around on the indices monthly VWAP. You guys build a monthly chart and put VWAP on the chart. We're hanging out around monthly VWAP. We're just not going anywhere. We're up and down around VWAP on the monthly. And I think these markets are waiting on stimulus. If we get it, I think we go higher. Good morning, Patrick, Chris as well. Good morning. If we don't get it, then of course we probably go lower into the election. Oil is interesting, especially in a Trump presidency. Not so interesting in a Biden presidency. Although I still think oil is undervalued, but we'll see what we get. Gold is kind of moving lower. There is support on gold currently at 14, but with news at 8:30, we won't take any spike trades. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. We're going to basically sit here for 25 minutes. Happy to answer questions, especially from trials. I did send out the video yesterday. I hope you guys all got it. I can actually check to see who's received it and actually opened it. Guys, let me quickly read the disclaimer while we're sitting here. This is the part where you guys can go get coffee if you've heard this for the last 7 years. U.S. government required disclaimer. Futures and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the futures and options markets. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. This website is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell futures or options. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on the website. Past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. CFTC Rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Since trades have not been executed, results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. Lastly, past performance is not indicative of future results. As I've said before, I also trade an account, and the fact that I may take one contract or more does not lend any more or any less credibility to any trade. Okay? So trade at your own discretion if you choose to. Okay. Yeah, Neil, send me an email. Yeah. Yeah, here's what I'm not trying to do. I send that to members, Jerry. That's mine. I'll send it to anybody that's a member, and any other indicator that I may use. I mean, you'll notice there's a few things. I don't use many indicators, guys. Like I use this Z-score. I'll send, if anybody knows what it is and wants to use it, I'll send the Z-score. This is really not an indicator. This is a box around the previous candle. If the box is blue, we're trading above the previous candle. If it's red, like gold, we're trading below the previous candle. And I merely use that as a quick visual reference. You can put it on any candle, 15 range, tick chart, hourly, 5-minute, doesn't matter. But I don't use a whole lot of indicators. Good morning, Donna. So as I was saying, fellas, I'm not, the education I'm going to do on Saturday is not meant to exclude, good morning, Shree, is not meant to exclude anybody. The reason that I'm opening it up primarily to newer members, those that may have some questions or haven't had the bot that long. If I open it up as a general education, somebody comes in and we get a member that comes in that may have had the bot for 6 months, and they start asking questions which may not be relevant to newer users. So what I'm trying to do is give the new people a quick head start instead of going through all of the videos, which I expect them to do anyways, but try to answer as many of those questions as I can. Tony, there's our other Florida resident. Good morning, Tony. So for those that are on trial, one of my trials is asking if I could show the website. So here is the website, fellas. Okay. So, this is the website for the bot, but you'll notice here I have a member area. So in the member area, you would be issued a login password. But in the member area, we have a few things. So for instance, if you become a member, the access link, which I sent you guys manually, right? When you signed up for the trial, I send you an access link for the room manually. So what I do with the members is I place the access link in here, right? Now you'll notice that this is wrong. This link actually ends tomorrow, not the 30th. But going forward for next week and the reason that I did the link for a week this time is I had over 100 trials this week. We had a lot of trials, and those that decide not to join when I do the link for 2 weeks, which is what I typically do, 2 week, I cancel their link, but I have to go into GoToWebinar and cancel all these links. So there were so many this week that I just didn't want to go through that. So I did the link for a week. So on Saturday morning, a new link will be placed in the member area, and every 2 weeks, unless I get an inordinate amount of trials again, but every 2 weeks, there will be a link placed here. This is where you'll go to get the access link for the room. I then have, for instance, a manual, right? So here is the manual, real brief. Installation of the bot, walks you through it step by step, how to install the robot, right? And I even did a video. So you can read step by step, or you can watch the video. Same thing with building a chart. I assume that most of you know how to build a chart in Ninja, although we do get from time to time some that don't or have never used Ninja. Maybe they were with another platform and they want the robot. Okay, building a chart. And then there's a video. Adding the indicator. Getting the bot functional, so on and so forth. Okay, so there's a manual there. Okay, and then anybody that has or decides to, and I'll go through the options that you have tomorrow, but if you purchase the back testing strategy, there's a guideline for that. And then these are educational videos that I have done on the robot, right? Going back to last year, September. Yeah, I see gold rolling. Dollars got bid for the moment, right? I would expect the indices to follow. You'll notice that they end in March. Okay, that does not mean that I stopped doing education in March. I did not. The reason that I'm not any longer posting educational videos in the member area is there's only so many topics that can be covered, with the bot, and then it just becomes video after video of redundancy. So now when I do education, instead of posting continued education, unless it's something entirely new, continued education in the bot or in the member area, and just having 2 years worth of videos, they're recorded and I send them out to the members. Okay, but everything that I will cover Saturday, or generally on any Saturday, is already covered in here. Okay, it's already covered in here. And then there's a educational video on Sierra charts. So the robot is programmed for both Sierra charts and boy, gold got ratcheted, and NinjaTrader 8. Yes, yeah, and I'll get to that, Chuck. Hang on one second. And then, unlike many of the products that are available now for purchase, oftentimes you guys may buy an indicator, or you may buy, some of you have already owned a robot. We're not asking you to figure it out. These are the settings that we're currently using. Okay, these are the settings that we're currently using. Yeah, and I have no bots on, guys. The robot would have caught that trade, but I don't have them on. I'm not trading ahead of the news. Um, these are the settings. So let's say, for instance, you want to trade the ES Unirenko. If you don't have a Unirenko, I'll send you a Unirenko. I have it. Okay. And it gives you the tick trend, open offset, reversal, etc. So all you had to do is basically build a chart, go to the settings on the robot, and I'll walk through that on Saturday, and we'll build a couple of charts. But these are the charts settings, right? So that's the member area. Oh, you're welcome, Jerry. And then Chuck asked the question, does the purchase of the bot include all of your bots, indicators, no other additional bot fee items missing? So, yeah. So basically the purchase of the bot, Chuck, is a one-time purchase, right? $24.97 is the discounted price for the trials this week. And it is a one-time purchase. You own the robot. Whenever we do updates or anything to the robot, those are all free. We send out a new download whenever there's an update. So, for instance, if we added, I don't know, a fourth target, let's just say, right? You would get an updated download. You would simply download, import it, and it will override the previous download, and you'll have the most recent bot. So and that's for life. So you'll always have the most updated robot. Now there are a couple of options with the robot if you want, right? They're not a necessity. They're not relevant to you running the bot or trading the bot. So for instance, there is a back testing strategy. So some members may trade things that I don't trade. Let's say soybeans. I don't trade soybeans anymore. I haven't in a long time. But if you trade soybeans, or you want to trade cotton, or you decided I'm going to get up at 3:00 in the morning and trade the European Open, what setting should I be using for the NASDAQ, or what setting should I be using for gold in the Asian session, which I haven't done and don't use? Excuse me. So that's when you would want the back testing strategy. That's $397, and I would direct you. Directly to my programmer, because that's his product. It's not mine. We have a what I call a position analyzer, which I'll show at the end of every session. And it was built specifically for traders that have limited real estate, like a laptop, or maybe one screen, or even two screens. And they may want to watch 15 different bots. And you just don't have the space to do that. So we have built an analyzer, or a positional type page that will show where everything is, trades getting ready to fire, trades that you're in, et cetera, et cetera. And that's $597. And I'll go over all of that again, all of this tomorrow. Usually around on Fridays, guys. I don't trade very actively. We'll do a few trades, but Fridays I like to make my money and get out of town. Gold is looking like it's blowing down to 1900. Looks like no deal, guys. I mean, that's what it kind of looks like right now. No stimulus, right? Dollar is strongly bid with a gap up. But as far as the robot goes, there are no add-ons to the bot itself. There's no, oh, well, you want this? Well, that's $200 more. Ah, well, you want that? It's another $200. No, no. The robot is a self-sufficient, self-contained product. Yeah, I know, B. I'm waiting. That's why we're not doing anything here. Waiting on initial, continuing and initial claims. We also have natural gas inventories today. What does that mean, Don? I'm not sure what you mean by that. My DOM? You mean the analyzer? Again, Kate, I know you missed Monday and Tuesday, and I'm going to have you back in next week. I'll go over that briefly. So the robot is a multi time frame analysis. I'll show you. We got a few minutes here. A multi time frame analysis. Oh, the order flow. Is that what you're asking me? The order flow? That's not a DOM. I'm sorry. So the robot is a multi time frame analysis of moving averages, right? So whenever you have a robotic system, let me back up. You guys can see, Craig, I don't know. No. Ours is built specifically for the robot. It may show NinjaTrader 8's position analyzer will show you the positions you're in. But the robot, the analyzer that we built will monitor robots and I'll show it at the end today. So back to Kate. These are moving averages. And it's not just, as I said on Monday, I know you weren't here. This is not a simple moving average crossover. That's the trigger. The moving average crossover is the trigger on this chart. These four boxes on the left-hand side are time frames. The robot is analyzing these time frames as well. So they all the moving averages on those time frames have to be congruent in order to give you a trade here. This is the only robot that I'm aware of that is using moving averages across multiple time frames, and we've looked at a lot of them. Most robotic systems are using for a trigger divergence, which this does not use divergence. Now, if you've ever researched robotic systems, day trading robots, 99% of them don't make money. They don't make money. The ones that do take very few trades. They're on bigger time frames. They don't take many trades, maybe one or two a month. But the day trading robots that are out there do not generally make money. The other two are not being used. That is correct, George. So this would be like adding the more filters that I add, right? So you can see if I add all those filters anyways, I will get fewer trades. So it's filtering more time frames. Now, it still would have taken this long at 5:40 this morning for 17 ticks, and it would have taken this short at 7:32. And you can see if you were trailing, you would be out now at 088, right? From an entry at 16.9. So $8. I use them both, Tony. Whatever is going to take a trade. I think it would benefit you to be in on Saturday if you can make it. Let's see. We had another question come in. Let's see here, Chuck. Making reference to no, there's no order flow bot. There's no order flow bot. Yeah. So I'll show you that. So, and one other member actually asked me that. Oh, thank you, Kate. One other member actually asked me that. So here is my order flow. Okay. This was programmed by Joel, who has been my programmer for over 4 years, I will say. I mean, I've been on my own for 5 years. I would say that maybe closer to 5 years. over 5 years now. So I would say this is closer to 5 years. So anyone that's actually wanting to, so the robot is, there are three basic memberships. There is the robot, which is $24.97. And again, tomorrow around 10:30, 10:45, I'll go over what that encompasses. I then have an annual membership, which is $34.97, which includes the robot. So it gives you 12 months in the room. And part of the benefit of the room is I do offer order flow trades throughout the day, primarily in the NASDAQ, gold, and ES. Now, today I'm going to watch copper. I'm going to watch a few other things. That being said, I do have a membership that I actually teach order flow. And without getting into too much detail, there is one aspect. This order flow is kind of a conglomeration of about a half a dozen different order flows. So most order flows are very similar, right? I mean, you can only put so much information in an order flow. But the interesting part about order flows is not all order flows have the same information. So let me make this up. If there were 10 aspects to an order flow, most of them will have the same 6. And then there are other functions of order flows, which order flow analytics may have, but Acme order flow does not, or Jigsaw Trading does not. This has incorporated, in my opinion, all of those aspects, right? But the one thing that makes ours very cool is we have an auto execute aspect of order flow, which is here, which others do not. Okay, this is unique to us. So for instance, I can do a couple of things. This is set to sim. Yeah, this is set to sim. So I can do stacked imbalances, buyer or seller. So let's assume right around the open, especially when the market is volatile, manually, we can't catch most of these trades. You'll never catch them. They're just too fast, right? We all know that. 9:30, market's moving pretty good, especially in the NASDAQ. So let's say I want a long, right? I click on the stack imbalance long. You see the green border? That is now telling me I am pending a long trade, and that will fire when I get, you see these blue dots on the right-hand side? Those are buyers. That will fire a long trade when I get 4 consecutive imbalances. The imbalances are whenever I have a ratio of buyers to sellers or sellers to buyers of 2 to 1 or greater, right? So basically, this is great, the momentum trading. So when I get 4 consecutive blue dots, on the 5th dot, this will auto execute a trade. Long. Same for shorts. When I get 4, see the border is now red. This will auto execute a trade short when I get 4 consecutive red dots. It'll enter on the 5th dot. Let's say I want to wait for both. Now the border's white. Whatever triggers first, longs or shorts. Generally, we would not trade waiting for one or the other. But at news, like at 8:30, we are going to get some kind of fairly rapid movement. So now I'm waiting for a long or a short. Okay, so we have that, which is really cool. No other order flow indicator that I have ever used or seen has that aspect. There is another aspect of this. We have washout signals. Okay, those of you that have traded order flow in the past would refer to these. Joel calls them washout signals. We kind of refer to them as washout signals, but technically it's a sequential decline. So when I get a down move, and let's say I get 4 ticks of sequential decline. So, I go 10, 9, 8, 7. So I'm running out of sellers on the bottom, and I have a long. So I'm looking for a reversal trade here, right? I'm looking for the reversal. Same with on the top. If I get a move up and I go 5, 4, 3, 2, I've run out of buyers on the way up. I'm now looking for the reversal short on a sequential decline. Okay. We also have bracket trades. You can set a bracket trade and you can program it. So right now it's set at, 10. So there's a bracket trade. If one or the other is hit, Basically. But what we're looking for on the washouts are the thank you, Steve. I guess it's 8:30. See if we did. Now let me ask you a question. For those of you guys that are, is there anybody in this room? Let me just. It's a beat. Big beat. Big beat. Big beat. We're going up. Is there anybody in this room that can sincerely tell me that you could have caught that move up manually? There's nobody. Not one of you. No, not me. Nobody. You could have hit buy market on your Dom, and who knows where you'd have gotten filled. You're buying market on a rip like that. Now, this would have fired here. This would have fired your long here. You'd be in that trade. You can hit market order. Good luck. I mean, if you hit market order, what if you got filled up here? You're not happy, right? You'd be out of this trade already. So let's say you had a generic ATM. Here, let me do this. Let me put a generic ATM on, just 2x1. And I'll set it for a stack buyer imbalance again. You guys can see it. This is a sim trade. So it just filled on a generic it just filled. Now it may go to a stop out. I don't know. That's not where I'd want my stop anyways, but if you were interested in catching that momentum move, which again is usually around obviously news, 9:30 open, etc., earnings reports, whatever, that's what you would have done, right? You would set your imbalances on. I can do a bracket trade at any time, Kate. But you know what a bracket trade is, right? So here's what I'm not doing. I'm not doing order flow education today. But the third membership that I offer is a 2-year membership. It's a 2-year membership. It's $49.97. There are no discounts. You have access to this room for 2 years. You get the order flow indicator as well as the robot. Now, as a sidebar, the auto execute aspect of order flow is not included in that membership. If anybody is interested that has the order flow currently, that auto execute aspect is $12.95. Well worth it. Well worth it. No, you cannot. Yeah, you can, Chuck. Let me rephrase that. No, if you purchase the robot, the order flow is not included. If you want the order flow indicator, there are 2 separate purchases. There is the order flow, and then there is the auto execute aspect of the order flow. Kate, you do not need to buy the order flow to trade the robot. No, they're wholly separate. And then as far as the 2-year membership, we get together once a week on Fridays at noon, and I teach for about an hour. We started the class about 7 weeks ago. I think tomorrow's 8 weeks. I will be starting another class though. All right, so let's see here. Well, Kate, I cannot. I'm trading now. I mean, I've gone through the basic premise of the robot, so I'm sorry. I'll have you back next week, and I'll go through all of it again on Monday. No, you cannot. No, it's for members only. I don't think that you would decide to purchase or not just by being in the education on Saturday. It wouldn't make any sense to you. You wouldn't have the robot. You wouldn't. I mean, it would be meaningless to you. All right, let's see what the heck we got here. Let me see gold. Dollar index is still hanging tough. Gold, if we can get up above '09, we go to 11.5. Thank you, Greg. So let's take a look at order flow, just for the hell of it. Let's see what gold is doing. How's that? Let's take a look at gold. I mean, gold looks to me like it wants to go up. We do have a ton of sellers, but we do need a retracement, right? We're down near the bottom, 95% area daily distribution. We do have this kind of thing working here. I would think, I don't have enough buyers yet to want to be long. NASDAQ's kind of, again, these markets are just slow. Oh, let me turn my bots on, fellas. We're after 8:30, right? After the news, so let me get bots on. Silver's already well into a short. I doubt we're going to see, it doesn't look like we'll see a reversal barring some news. Pound is into a short already. Euro's well into a short on the bots. For instance, here's the euro. This thing's been in the short since 1500 hours. Not likely we're going to get a freaking monster reversal on the 15-minute today, but who knows? They come out and say we got to. All right, we got stack buyers. I think gold is long, guys. It looks gold's along. Gold's along, guys. Gold's along. How I see it. We've got to get through these two swings, 8-9 and then 9-7. I have a target at 11.5 on gold. What I need, ideally, hang on, guys, 1 second. There we go. We got to get through this swing here. You see this red area on top? This red area, guys, is inventory. That's from the move down, this big move down. As we bid up through that, that will start to disappear. I think we get at least to 11.5, 12. We're just sitting here, but we need a bounce. Got 194 buyers right here at 7.5. They're buying 7.5 right at the point of control. My stop would probably be 6.06. Ideally, I want to see the candle close in 8 seconds, right about here, 8.6, maybe 8.7, just above that little trend line on the 5 minute. Not quite. So now I've got lower highs here, right? I've got a high at 9.1 and then a lower high in the previous candle. Let me take a look. CL. CL is long. CL is a long. 15, 16. Yep. Pelosi. Talks with Mnuchin continue. Dollar's pulling back a shard. It's sitting on VWAP, but there is what looks like a gap to fill down there. If we get through those two swings, we got buyers. We got buyers, right? 11.5 is where I have a target. You guys will have ticks if you're in the trade. You can trade them as you see fit. Pelosi, we're seeing progress in the stimulus talks. Come on, buddy. It's working through all of that inventory up above. Got another swing that we've got to clear here. 9.7. Is there anybody long gold? Anybody long gold? Okay, Greg. All right, guys. She's elaborating. Pelosi. Stimulus talks are on a good path. Push up right here. 9.798. Come on, buddy. Right here. 9.7. Hey, Brian. Good morning. Yeah, it is. I didn't turn the small tick. Look, this should be long. I didn't turn it on. It's almost a first target on the bot. This is what happens, guys, when I start teaching. Yeah, she said something positive. It's hard for me to trade and, myopically watch and teach. You got to trade to 9.6. I still think we're going higher, but it's going to get to 11.5. Eventually, it could get to 19.7. Yeah, I think it can get to 19.7, Greg. Typical gold, it's going to futz around. I'd really like to see it pull back to 0.22, but it doesn't look like it wants to. There are small sellers in here. It's holding support at 7.78 area. Let me get this on. Saturday would be great, Steve. I have such a large trial this week that everything I have to do is just eating up my day. I mean, I'm busy I apologize. I am busy all day. Come on, higher highs, higher lows. Let's go. Don't do that. Let's keep going. I don't really like at the moment shorts. This could pull back into 6.7. I'm not really liking shorts. Steve, how about Saturday morning after education? Maybe 11 o'clock my time. This could drop down and test this bottom again. I have crude and a long, fellas. I am Eastern, yes. I'm talking to, yes, Steve T. I am talking to Steve H. I know you and I are chatting on Saturday as well. I also have crude longs, guys. This 15, 16, 17, if anybody is interested in crude. Crude is, I don't even have the bot on yet in crude, Kate. It is not in a long. No. Anyways, but no. I don't turn it on until, well, 9 o'clock. Natural gas got punched in the face. I wasn't watching natural gas. $11.5 is what I have as target one, guys. As always, trade them as you see fit, but 11.5. Let me take a look real quick at the NASDAQ. Nothing. ES. I've actually got the ES trying for longs. Let me go back to CL. First target I have on CL, 24.56 area. Yeah, so that yellow box is the 3-tick range where the most amount of volume is. And it's going to pull back again. Typical. It's going up. It's in the buy zone is here. This whole area, all the way down to back down to 3. It's in a buy area. It's just waffling around. Joe Biden says he is not a fan of expanding the Supreme Court. If elected, he will form a bipartisan group to look at changing the Supreme Court. There we go. There goes your Constitution. Exactly. I'm not a fan, but everybody else was, so I'm going to go with that. Don't blame me. Yeah. We haven't heard from her in a long while. Where's Cortez been? Hey, Dana, you live in Massachusetts, man. Warren's all yours. You voted for. I know, I'm kidding. Here we go. Day number 2. Still doing this garbage. Let me go back to CL. Probably, I would say 39 at 99. Wasn't the Constitution violated first when the Senate refused to put forth Obama's pick? No? No, wasn't. Come on, here we go. Buyers again. Let's go, fellas. 11 half. 11 half. And fellas, again, I realize that trading is not whether it's in this room or any room, right? Anywhere. Trading is not comprised solely of Republicans. I realize that there are Democrats that trade. I have made my views public. 11-5. I am a Republican. Really, I'm an independent. But as a Republican, I'm a moderate. I see both sides. I do not impose my views on anybody, nor do I feel they should impose theirs on me. 11-5, first target, guys. 11-5. Or as you see fit. Anybody that's in this trade, you have a nice little winner. Trade them as you see fit. Should get to give or take 11-5. Now, again, I mean, yeah, I wish we could all get along. It's a nice theory. It's a heated argument. Good morning, Magnus. Yeah, the long was right down in here, Dana, right around 7.234 area on gold, right? Which is where I said it, and I showed that trend line, and I said we got to pop this trend line. Again, it's working through this inventory. You guys can see the red area. You may get a pop at 11. I mean at 9. It's just slow going. Dollar index is pulling back. I have the dollar index in the lower right. Crude didn't do us any favors, but it still looks like it's trying to go long. It may take us out on this trade. 99 would be your stop. Gold to me, guys. Yeah, I think we can go all the way up to 18 to 20 again. It's just a slow roll here. NASDAQ is kind of chunking around. We do have just over 1,000 net sellers on NASDAQ in the overnight session. Euro and pound are both turning north. Five minutes to the top of the hour, fellas, just a bit over. NASDAQ is literally parked, sitting on a 100 period moving average on a 15-minute time frame. Nothing. Shri, you keep emailing me, and I'm not sure why. You've sent me literally 4 emails in the last 2 days asking for the same thing. What's at the 68 below VWAP? NASDAQ? I'm really not paying attention to the indices yet. We're basically sitting on monthly VWAP all the way around. These markets aren't going anywhere. I understand, Shri. I understand what you want, but I can assure you completely, I don't need 4 emails to both my email addresses to get it. And just because I don't respond immediately, those are the types of emails that I get to on a Saturday because they're not of an urgent nature. They don't require a response immediately. I mean, I literally get well over 100 emails a day. So the ones that I respond to immediately are the ones where somebody needs help or there's a problem. I got an issue. I need help. I'm stuck in a trade, whatever the case may be. But something of your nature, which is again a non-emergent email, I'll get to on Saturdays. No, it's not trouble. It's no trouble. Another boring market, fellas. Let me take a look at some other stuff, guys. I missed natural gas. Copper, I missed along earlier. Let me take a look at natural gas. We do have natural gas inventories today. Natural gas would be along at the close of this candle, which is in 9 o'clock. I'm watching the 5 minute. Natural gas is along. This could come back to 5.5 area where it finds support. Got to 10.5, almost $3. Didn't get to my target. Here's top of the hour. Let's see what we get. Guys, I still think this is longs. You can take natural gas long on a move above 05. Hey, Sean, if anybody is interested in gas above 05. Guys, this is an ugly candle formation. This was a nice move here to that 10-6. Trying again, come through this swing here at 9. Euro still trying to turn up. We should go with Euro, right? Gold should go with Euro. All right, fellas, I'm going to quickly eat my breakfast. I'll be right back, guys. Crude didn't touch the stop and has gone. Gold is farting around in here still. NASDAQ looks like it should probably trade back up to 65. Anybody have any questions before we go, fellas? We got about 6.5 minutes. There are none that are in trades. I do every day, George. You've been here every day since Monday. Every single day. No, I can't. You mean keep them up, like put one up now and leave it up? Is that what you're saying? I do that every single day on every single trade. Once they're out of first target and they go break even +1, I generally move them. We're not getting another trade, right? There's not going to be another trade. They can't lose money. Then I'll move them off the screen so that I can trade. All right, guys, I'm turning my bots on. All right, we're on, fellas. It's going to be a slow bot trade. It's what it's looking like right now. Silver's trying to turn up. Gold came into that 5.5, 5.6, 6 area and held, bounced back to where we basically entered the trade. I still think we're going to 11.5. Well, because I can look at the chart, Steve, and I can see that there's nothing in danger of getting ripped around. Look at your charts. The only one I don't have on is the 377 tick. Well, I don't have the 15 range on in the NASDAQ, but the 3-minute can't get ripped around on gold. Neither can the 15-minute. The ES charts I trade can't get ripped around. The 15-minute won't take a short. The Unirenko doubtful. There's nothing that can get ripped around. I have CL on. Here's the issue with CL. The only chart I trade on crude is this Unirenco. It took this long at 721, right? So I'm not going to get a trade unless it sells. I've already given a crude trade, fellas. If you took it, you took it. You've gotten your first target. Now it's free. If you didn't take it, I'll look for trades once the market's open here. Yeah, Chuck, I wait until I come into the room so that I start. So as I've said before, and I know this is your first day in the room, if I let the bots run all day or all night and I came into the room and they were up $4 trillion, would anybody care? You can't see the trade. So I try to come in at zero. NQ 3 minute did not take it. Oh, NQ. Oh yeah, it's long, but I didn't have it on. I do now. And first target's hit. Yeah. So NQ would have just taken this long to first target, but I just turned it on because the only way it'll take a trade now is short. Dollar is pulling back. I don't know why gold is just literally sitting here like a goof. 6B is turning up. 6E is turning up on the 15 minutes. No, they wouldn't care, Chuck. Again, I've got 100 trials in the room, right? I guarantee you, no matter what I do, somebody will say you should do it differently. I have learned a long time ago that I can't appease everybody and no longer try. And I come into the room, my robots are at zero. That's it. I'm at zero. So when the trades fire, we'll take them in the room and I'll show the trades. And guys can say, okay, well, I see how he's managing the trade, et cetera, et cetera. We have basically a flat open, guys. Yeah, I gave up, Dirk, long ago, man. I'm way too old to try to appease everybody. Way too old. Here's what we got coming into the session. Dow futures down 29 points. S&P off 3 handles. NASDAQ off 6.5 handles. Russell is the only green, up 5, almost 6 handles. VIX futures are up about 0.1%, back below 30. VIX cash is up 1 7/10, just over 29. Just the wife, that's right. She's the only one. Guess we're off. We're off, fellas. In case you didn't know. We got buyers on the open. Let them buy them. Let them break. Let them pull back. We'll look for an entry. Now gold is getting a little bit jiggier. ES is trying to break out. If ES can get above about 36, we can trade to 46. Let me see, Russell. I'm just looking at charts, guys. All right, gold went long on the 377 tick robot, guys. Gold is now long on the 377 tick. So here's your first bot trade of the day. Gold is long on the robot. It's sitting, but it's long. NASDAQ has got a nice bid. Everything's got a nice bid. NASDAQ can now trade the 750 area. Russell, geez, Russell's long. God, hate buying it up here, but Russell's long. See if we can get a pullback in the Russell. Gold's still sitting. And there's a reversal on gold. What a rat bag this gold is today. Gold's going to be an aggravation all day. A lot of sellers. And this is going to come what looks like right back into support. I would take this long on a pullback to 95, 96 if it gets there. Come on, gold, do something. I mean, you got a long guys on the NASDAQ. I just don't like it up here. I'm not interested in buying up here. Russell's still going. Jeez. I would have had to have bought that at 11.3. All right. Let's see if we can get a pullback here in NASDAQ. Out on gold. First bot trade, 377 tick out. This is going to, the small time frame is going to chop because it's in a small chop zone. It's not a short, fellas. It's just in a chop zone. $15 range. Look at this mess. Here's our pullback. It won't fire at least until 10 o'clock, Reg, and it's going to have to push higher than this to turn up. I'm watching it. I like this around, hang on, 85, 86 on the NASDAQ for a bounce. Come on, pull back a little more. More. Nope. Came into that 95 zone. ES into longs. I have 15 minutes. I don't trade 240. I have some 60. Chuck, I don't trade at 240. Anybody holding crude still? Final target, fellas, maybe 88, 89, 90. Yeah, it's a long. I gave that this morning. Pelosi to speak in 1 hour. So she's speaking at 11 o'clock. All right, guys. NASDAQ is going to try to push up again. There it goes. Come on, NASDAQ. What are you doing? This is just terrible. Terrible, terrible price action. Natural gas is going. We have inventories at 10:30. Yeah, you guys want to try it? A NASDAQ long. You guys can try NASDAQ long. We could go right back to 720 on NASDAQ. If you guys are interested in NASDAQ. Got buyers. Small negative delta. NASDAQ has a target, guys, at least at 10 or 11. And I think we can go right back up to 20. Yeah, it's like everything else. It's just chopping around. I guess they're waiting on, again, I said this earlier this morning. We're waiting on some kind of word on stimulus. These markets are just directionless. At least the NASDAQ is. Gold. For the most part, Jock, I did. Nobody really wants to trade it. Talking about ZB, guys. Go back to trading cattle. We'd have gotten all 3 targets on that. We could cut. I mean, if NASDAQ breaks below 65, we could come down to 38, even 615. Yes, if it comes down to 28, 29, maybe an interesting long. Guys, we basically have chop. That's all we got. Small little areas. Gold on the 3-minute and 15-minute has been in shorts, not left shorts. So the 15 range is trying to turn up. I'm using the two small time frames, the 5 and the 10 range. It's going to give a long. It's going to give a long. There you go. So it gave a long on the small time frame, 15 range, and even this is chopping around. Just no movement here, guys. None. Come on, dog. Go get first target anyways. All right, it got first target. Let's get second target out of there. I'll manually move it. See if, no, I couldn't move it fast enough. Both targets hit, first and second target. 3 3/4 and 7.5 points. This is all that's going to give us a trade for. All that's going to give us a trade for now. God darn it, this stupid thing. Anybody here like this price action? 20 minutes into it, there isn't much. Support is holding about 68 to 70. That's our support. 68 to 70 area. Now it looks like it's going to roll. Again, guys, for those of you that are newer with this 15 range with these real small settings, 5 and 10 range, will take a ton of trades. Apparently not today, but it takes a lot of trades. Guys, we have 350 net sellers in NASDAQ. That's it. That's it. If Pelosi comes on in an hour and says anything remotely positive, I would probably go higher. And she's been, somewhat positive today in the comments that we've heard. I mean, this is not right. Steve, I agree. I mean, guys, we don't really have anything tradable here. It missed the short. So one of the reasons that a Unirenka will miss the short, for those of you guys that don't, and it would have gotten first target, it's a hollow candle. You guys should know that, right? It's basically 2 ticks. My offset in the robot is set to 1 tick. So I either get filled at my entry where it plots, or a 1 tick slippage, or it will not fill me. So it looks like, our volume is probably a little bit light. I'll know at 10:30. And we could have had a 1 tick spread in this. Who knows? The offer jumps through, it doesn't fill. Looks like it wants to fill long. I don't really see shorts. I don't see longs. I'm going to shut this off before it takes another trade. Not fast enough. All right, it's off. Guys, we're going to sit here. That's all we're going to do. There's look at this. There's no way to trade this. You can buy support at 69, 70 is what it looks like. If you guys want to take a long on the NASDAQ, 70 area for another bounce. It's bounced once off 70 right here. Been in from 74, just ES. The strength is in the Russell, guys, not the NASDAQ. Look at the Russell. Look at the Russell. Again, I should have taken it where I said I had it at that 11. I had to buy 11.3. It's up 5 points, 6 points. NASDAQ has nothing. There's no gas in the NASDAQ. It is coming into support here at this 70 area again. It hit 72 and bounced 4 whole points. Woohoo! It's on fire. Look at the YM. The YM is literally, YM looks like it's parked in a handicap zone. It's not moving. 1-2 ticks. Not a great trade here, folks. Strength is in the Russell today. It's all RTY. Let me look at the NASDAQ on a 5-minute again. Good Lord. Just you have got to be kidding me. Here's your support. Bounced again. 3 handles. It's it. 4 handles. Crude was a great trade today. Crude is trading well. Guys, there are no bot trades. One minute to some news. Existing home sales. Gold looks like it can come down to 98. I mean, all we need is Pelosi to say they're close to a deal. And I think these markets will wake up. But short of that, guys, my suggestion is you trade cautiously. I would not be doing a whole lot in here. Existing home sales is a beat. Eurozone confidence is a miss. We're still holding basically that 70 area, guys. I mean, it came down, to 65, but that's still the area of support. Unless we sell off stiffly through that. I don't. Where's my delta? Man, we're at 1200 negative delta. All right, let me look at the YM. Maybe there's a short there. Jesus. This is terrible. NASDAQ maybe to 640. We're coming down to what looks like 38 on the NASDAQ and probably 15. It's just a drift. Gold won't turn up. Crude has strength. Natural gas, mostly sideways, but long. Thirty-eight's a target on NASDAQ now. Gold is attempting. If the 377 goes long, I'll let it take it. I mean, I just don't. Guys, these markets are clearly waiting on something. Patience. I got nothing. I really have no trade. Natural gas, I mean, is nice. NASDAQ may give you a small long right here if it can pop up through, no, that's gold. I'm sorry, 4. Gold's a long. I mean, the nice thing about the bot is it'll surely prevent over trading, right? We're going back to VWAP. It'll surely prevent that. Gold is, guys, I just have gold longs. I don't know why we're, dollar. We've got dollar strength today. Silver is attempting to turn up as well. Here's the dollar index. NASDAQ should get back to VWAP. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've seen NASDAQ or the markets in general. Gold is longs, guys. Gold is longs. We're through 04. That's an order flow trade, not a bot trade, but the 377 tick is trying to turn up. Yep, it's longs if you guys are interested. There it goes. Boy, this NASDAQ has got an identity crisis today. NASDAQ has to come up through 59.60 area. There's the 377 went long, guys. Yeah, Rick. Come on, gold. It's pushing. Come on, buddy. Got buyers. There it is. First target. Looks like one tick shy. Hit it to the tick. It hit first target to the tick. It didn't fill it. Losing buyers. Come on, buyers. God, I hate that. Guys, this should get back to 08. Here's where it is here. It's pushing that one standard deviation. If it can get through about 5.4, 5.5, right where that target is, it should go up and get that second target. But we have buyers that lost buyers. Hit first target to the tick and didn't fill. We also have a debate tonight. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. This will probably drop down now and take me out. NASDAQ got my 38 target. Come on, one more candle. Let's go. One more candle. Damn it. Come on, gold. All right, new 15 range. Let's go. What a nauseating little trade. Seriously, nauseating little trade. Hey, Sylvan. Guys, maybe we'll stay longer today than 11:30 and see if these markets don't pick up some. Because we're not getting, I mean, there's just nothing here. What happened here? Oh, no worries, Gerardo. No worries. That'd be great. And then NQ's dead. Just dead. NASDAQ's dead. Just nothing. It's getting red. It's trying to turn up. It's getting to the point where on the 5 minute it's oversold. There it goes. Not much of a bounce though. If I had it on, it would be, Joe. Guys, I mean, commonsensically, I'm assessing these markets. This is not a tradable, really tradable market. I let the 377 take the trade because it's such a small time frame that's the only place we're really getting trades are these small time frames. There's no bigger time frame trades. ES is in longs on the bigger time frames, is not rolled over. NASDAQ actually did on the 3 minute. If NASDAQ gets back through 660, 70, it should be okay. Probably back up to VWAP at 67. Gold doesn't want to move. You guys can see it. There's not much movement here, fellas. I mean, gold's got to at least push up through 05. NASDAQ up and down. It looks like it's trying to push higher. Oh, look at that. Hit target again and no fill. There we go. Good Lord, man. That was a 212-hour trade. I'm at break even +1. I'm not giving him back a nickel. Guys, I'm going to move this. I mean, the probabilities are it'll take me out, but I'm going to move this target out to third target. No, I'm not. It's going to take me out. ES is in park. No. If you don't want to use the trail, you turn the trail off. If you turn the exits off, then it will use your standard ATM. We're headed down out. We're headed down to 15, guys, on the NASDAQ. 15. 15. I mean, this is what we're trying to trade today. This, I'll tell you in a second. Let me take a look at these markets. I'll look at stocks as well. Dow futures are down 20 points. S&P is off 3. NASDAQ's off 58. Russell's still up 9. Are they buying anything? Tesla's up 668. Amazon's down 32 bucks. Apple's up 2 cents. Facebook's down $1.64. Netflix down $4.29. And that 377 took the stop at even and is trying to break up. I still have gold longs, guys, up to 096. Will the bot let you switch from using the stop to using the trail? What do you mean using the so you can turn the trail on and off at any time in the trade, Scott. I'm not sure what you mean by the stop. So let me give you, for instance, there's a break even at target 1 button, right? So if you use the break even button and price moves above, yeah, I did not, Greg. I did not. I don't even have one of those side computers. If you turn the trail back on once price moves above, it will continue to auto trail then. And I'll cover all that stuff on Saturday for anybody that is joined. Mm-hmm. We just have not really had two-sided trades this week. We've generally had directional up or down, but not the back and forth, which, as traders, we like. It prevents you from over trading, which is a problem for a lot of traders. Russell is going, fellas. I gave you the Russell. Nobody took it, I guess. Let me see the YM. I still like the YM for longs as well. Just came back into support at about that 60 area and bounced 15 ticks. At least it prevents you from over trading. And again, on the day, we're still up 745. We started out the day with some draw. The first trade today was a losing trade on gold. But we've managed to crawl out of that. Yeah, we used that term, Dirk, when I was back in Nam. I forgot who asked me if I was in Southeast Asia. One of the guys, Reg, I think. There he is, Reg. Chuck, the 15-minute is not going to fire along on this candle. And the reason I haven't shut off at 11 is because we're generally out of the room at 11:30. Now, today I'm going to stay a little longer. Yeah, I'm sure. That sounds like terrible duty, Dirk. I can't even imagine having to go through all that. Heartfelt condolences. Dirk served in Hawaii from 70 to 72. That doesn't sound like any fun. Oh, you were an air traffic controller there? So, Chuck, I mean, on any given day, like today would be today is there we go, guys. We're trying to bid. Today, hang on. Pelosi said she believes both sides want to reach an agreement. She took a little swipe at the Senate. She can't speak for the disarray on the Senate side. On any given day, we generally average probably 10, maybe 12 trades a day. I don't think today we've had 6. It'll be up to President Trump to deliver what happens on the Senate side. So she's playing a little bit of politics. But again, overall, the tone is positive. I think my opinion is once we get out of Europe at 11:30, would not shock me to buy some of these back. But for the week, for those of you keeping score at home, yeah, I don't think Biden can win either. If you follow Clear Politics, they have Biden up by a fair amount. But I think anybody that's got common sense should disregard those poll numbers. I mean, we live in a country now where it's very chic. Yeah, of course they were wrong 4 years ago. Well, you can't. Anytime you see these polls that are plus or minus 1 or 2%, especially in Biden's favor, it generally means Trump is leading 4 to 6%. There are 2 areas of concern: Georgia, and and Republicans are not doing well in the congressional races in Georgia either. And here goes YM, and Arizona. But he's leading in Ohio. He's leading in Florida. He's leading in Florida. What I was going to say was, I think we live in a country now that it's, for much of the country, anyways, it's very chic to say you're a liberal and you hate Trump and whatever, right? You can get away with that and no one cares. But here comes that 600, fellas, on the NASDAQ. But if you speak your belief about being a Trump supporter, you very well may find yourself in a ditch. Here's 600. There we go, guys. There we go. I told you, 600. Next level up, guys, if we get above about 605, 606, you can start targeting 640. 640. There was, Trump's going to take Miami-Dade. He's going to take Dade County. The Hispanics will not vote for Biden, many of whom left socialist countries. And again, I'm not, listen, I follow politics very closely, and not just, Fox. Trump has picked up a staggering amount. The demographics where Trump has picked up a staggering amount of supporters is young African Americans and Latino vote. My only concern with him is, women. He's actually picked up a bigger percentage this election than the first election in college educated. VWAP next, fellas. And I'll say this. If Biden is elected, I support him. He's the president of the United States. I don't know. I personally don't know that the volume was not exceedingly high, right? So there was no real capitulation move. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. Would anybody be shocked if they come out with a deal and these markets go 400 points higher? And this was nothing more than these, guys doing what they do, which is running stops all the way to heck and back. It's kind of the game, isn't it? I mean, we're all allowed to make some money. They make most of the money, right? I will listen. Trump is offensive. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. He's offensive. Yeah, don't forget too as well. Chuck, next week's a big week, right? Big earnings next week, guys. Next week's big week for earnings. The only trade that the bot took today on the ES, again, it's been a really slow week for bots, guys. I mean, we're making money. I can't complain about that. Was this short here? Took that short. Would have had both targets, but it only took one contract for me. It didn't fill three. Again, I have a one tick slippage built into the settings for me. It only took one contract, got first target, but it got all three. Now, again, if I'd have had three cars on that, you can add another 150 to the total, and you could add about 400. Let's see, 8 handles is 400, $550. Now it's a decent total. One. It's a Unirenko, Chuck. So I'm using the 1 minute. But it's a bigger Unirenko. It's a bigger Unirenko. It's a 10-4-20. So I would disregard this stuff in here because of the time of day, right? I mean, that's 2,100 hours. That's 2,200 hours. You can't trade that. There's nothing going on in the markets. Here's a nice short at 1542. That's yesterday afternoon. Here's a nice long before it. Another nice winning trade. Another nice winning trade. Another nice winning trade. Here's a losing trade at 637. What are the other green boxes showing? What green boxes, Chuck? I'm not sure what you're at. You mean on the left? Oh, yeah, that's because I'm moving the chart. Those are other time frames. So all the time frames are green right now, from the small, at least out through the 3 minute. Silver is trying to turn up, guys. I don't see any shorts. I know the market, got a little beaten up today, but trend wise, I think we're still long. So I don't. Europe closes in a few minutes. We'll see what we get here. Guys, I have gold longs. If anybody is interested in gold now, this thing it's a long, fellas. Gold could trade all the way back up to '08. You can, Chuck, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The more filters you use, right? It's like putting 10 indicators on your chart. If you wait for all 10 to align, you may never get a trade. So the more filters we use, you will pare down the amount of trades. They become higher probability. So here's the thing with the robot. I can pare filters down to such a point where I literally have 100% winners. But it may be one trade a month, right? So ideally, if you're going to day trade, there goes gold, guys. If you're going to day trade the robot, ideally we want to probably keep the ratio at about 70%, because that'll give us enough trades. Granted, we're going to have some losers in there, right? But that's trading. But that'll keep us at a high enough percentage. You can gold is longs, guys. I'm telling you, it's longs. It's going to 07, 8 area. That'll keep your percentage high enough so that, low enough, if you will, so that it gives us trades on a daily or a consistent basis. Does that make sense? Now, some traders may say, hey, I'm good with 1 or 2 trades a week on gold. And if I can get 1 or 2 trades a week on the ES, that's cool too. 1 or 2 trades on the NASDAQ, 1 or 2 trades on silver. I can string 1 or 2 trades a week together across 5 or 6 instruments. Most traders, my experience, most traders do not trade 5 or 6 instruments. Most traders trade the same things kind of, it's, what they do. I trade ES and I'll trade NASDAQ. I don't really trade. So me personally, I don't really trade the YM, although I did take the YM long at 53. I generally rarely trade the Russell. Rarely trade the Russell. Primarily, I trade the NASDAQ. But when the NASDAQ is sloppy like it was today, I will look to the ES or the YM. The ES was far more stable today. I would love to get one more trade. If anybody is still holding 16 long on crude from just prior to 9 a.m., 89, 90 was my final area. And it got to 02. You could maybe push it to 04, but that's what I see. We're basically done with crude. Natural gas, let me see if there's maybe an NG trade here into the European close. No. Natural gas is longs, 13 again, but it's going to be slow. And yes, Chuck, you have that correct about checking the boxes and matching the trend. Yes. We've gone flat. Guys, give me 1 minute. Members. Here, let me show you where we're at, guys, basically. $7.45. This is the NASDAQ on a daily chart. Disregard this. It's not anything that we traded. I'll send it to you, Kate. Saturday. We did 745 at this point, fellas. 745 bucks. Oh, let me turn these off. They're all off. Bots are all off for now, unless I see a trade set up. I'll turn it back on. That is a staggeringly low number. That is correct, Kate. Target NQ 22, then 40. You are long at 09. You're long at 92.50 or 09 quarter. Kristen? You're long at 09 quarter. Okay, never mind. 609. I'm thinking 509. My bad. So you're up 100 points. Yeah, so silver is trying to go long. If it does, you're welcome, Sean. So real quickly, guys, for my trial members, today obviously concludes the 4th day of the trial, right? Tomorrow is going to be your last session in the room as a trial member. So on Monday, you're either a member or I guess you're not. You're not really going to see anything more tomorrow that's going to be any more or less than what you've seen this week, right? For anybody that is interested, that, which we've had some guys already join. If anybody is interested, fellas, you can go to the website. I showed this yesterday. You can go to the website. You can go to pricing. The very first one down, $24.97. It's been discounted for you guys to $24.97. Just click the buy now and you can pay right on the site. Tomorrow will be a I'll do a presentation again for you guys tomorrow, kind of recap this. But just for the week, here's where we are for the week. 2202.5 on Monday, 1611.25 on Tuesday, 2510 yesterday, and 745 so far. For the week, we're up $7,068.75. Not a bad week. It's not a great week. It is not a great week, but that's okay. Let's see here. I still like gold longs, guys. Gold's going to go back to VWAP, I think, today. You mean an overall losing week, Chuck? In the last 16 months, we have had a few. Not many. Now, again, that could be different if you're only trading one instrument, right? So if you only trade the ES, let's say, that would skew potentially your results, right? You could say, well, I lost $500 on the ES. You made 5,000. I lost 500. My suggestion to everyone is, even if, you are a trader that says, well, I don't really trade gold or I don't really trade crude or whatever the case may be, is that you actually do start to expand because, the bot will take losing trades. I mean, that's just reality. No different than you or I. We're going to take losing trades. But overall, the bot generally finds enough trades that it becomes profitable. So your question, when is the last overall losing week? I don't recall. It's so long. We've had a few, but I don't recall. It's been that long. No idea. I mean, we've actually had this year a couple of days where the bot lost money overall back-to-back days, like let's say Monday and Tuesday, and we're still green at the end of the week. Just because it's a robotic system does not mean that it's never going to be wrong. For those of you guys that are on trial, Saturday I'm going to be doing education aimed specifically at newer bot users. Hang on one second. You mentioned the order photo. That is correct. It is not. Yes, it's the footprints. It's the footprint. Yeah, sure, I can show it. No, this indicator is not available via Ninja. If you want to use Ninja's order flow indicator, good luck to you. It'll be 9 a.m., Alan. And for those of you that can't make it, 9 a.m. Eastern. For those of you that may sign up and can't make it, you will get a recording of the education, which is going to cover a lot of what may take you guys several weeks or maybe longer to to figure out. Probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We're getting a little bit of a pullback again in here. Dollar index is very quiet. Usually once Europe closes, we get a move. I'm kind of waiting on this move again, or a move. What is the indicator on the foot? Well, a bunch of it. I mean, I talked about this earlier, Chuck, and if you missed it, I apologize. I think you were in the room. I've shown the order flow. And as I said, my order flow that Joel has coded is the best of all the order flows combined. As I said, in an order flow, there are only so many things you can put in an order flow. The stacked items is unique. The auto execute is unique to us. But I mean, if you want to go buy the Noft, go buy the Noft, right? That's Ninja's version. Or Ninja Trader 8 will give you an order flow version. They're not the same. And if you want to buy my order flow as a non-member, you can buy it for $14.95, and you can buy the auto execute aspect for $12.95. So $2,700. No, Noft is garbage. I started on the Noft. It's garbage. I still have it. It's garbage, Jimmy. Doesn't look like we're going to get a move. I will do everything I can to help you, Kate. Natural gas is sitting on some support right here at 11. Fellas, just an overall dead. It could be because of the debate tonight. I mean, I don't know why the markets would care. We all know what's going to be said, right? Kai's the one that started me on the Noft. Kai and I are still friends. We still talk.